is CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Najahe Sherman, and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top stories. Taking a live look outside, the rain this afternoon gave us a temporary cool down. Let's check in with next weather meteorologist Cindy Pressler. She lets us know how long we need to keep these umbrellas handy.
I think for this evening, a lot of this is now going to be done. So for the rest of tonight, your Friday night looking good, but you'll need the umbrella again this weekend, of course. Very typical rainy season weather, showers and thunderstorms with plenty of heat. Our heat advisory runs through Sunday at 8 o'clock. Temperatures topping out in the mid-90s, but it will feel like up to 110 degrees. So wash, rinse, repeat each and every day. Heavy downpours, and we saw plenty of those again today. Really obvious, the upper level flow is coming out of the northeast, so these storms are getting pushed westward. So that sea breeze came in this afternoon. That provided the lift. We've got plenty of moisture at the surface, so there we had lots of heavy downpours with some frisky storms. No warnings down here, though. And we still have the remnants of what was a flood advisory this afternoon. See how that storm just kind of died out? Picked up anywhere from 1 to 2, maybe some spots up to 3 inches of rain here, so there was some minor flooding going on. Another little shower that just developed down here around Doral, Vanderbilt Park. This continues to make its way to the west. Another tiny shower around Miami Springs. That one also looks like it's falling apart, but they're moving westward at about 15 miles per hour. Temperatures, though, that helped out a lot. High 94 degrees. That brought the temperature down. Look at this, 81 right now in Miami. So that shower came right across the airport. Areas that did not get the rain still very hot. Still feels like 86 degrees here. So, but it feels like 101 down at Homestead. So if you didn't get that rain, you didn't get the cool rain, cooled air. Temperatures are still very, very warm. So your modeling for this evening going to end these showers and storms. Partly cloudy skies overnight. And look at this, a little wave comes in overnight. Wants to bring some rain at least to the very southern portions there of Miami-Dade. We'll see if that actually happens. And then tomorrow, again, southeasterly flow. Expect showers and storms to pop up in the afternoon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then dying off by 6, 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. So your Saturday night looks good. We'll have more scattered showers and thunderstorms again on Sunday afternoon, but not as many. It looks just a little bit drier. Rain chances tomorrow again, afternoon. That's going to be your best chance. So that's when you'll need your umbrella. Rain chances will be about even over the next 7 days, about a 50% chance for showers and storms. Got to go out to the tropics because we have a brand new subtropical storm, Don, that was named today. This one actually not going to cause any kind of a threat. Look, kind of loops up and then back down. About 40, 45 mile per hour winds out of this. So we'll keep an eye on it for you, but it poses no threat to anyone. Here's your forecast this weekend. Ooh, temperatures in the mid-90s, so near record highs again tomorrow. Other than that, we stay in the 90s with about a 50% chance for showers and thunderstorms every day. Typical rainy season weather.
All right, thank you, Cindy. Today, one of South Florida's biggest drills for an actual disaster kicked off. It's part of a 4-day simulation of a Category 5 hurricane making landfall. CBS News Miami's Jacqueline Quinn takes us through the process.
This exercise is the reason why you may see a couple of helicopters flying around our area. They're actively doing recovery and assessments just like they would after a major disaster.
This is Florida International University's disaster field simulation that's aimed at not only training students, but professionals.
The hurricane is called Hurricane Marsha. It's a Category 5 hurricane that hit the DR. It could hit South Florida. There's no smoke and mirrors. It's not fake. They're eating MREs, using a porta potty, not sleeping. It's raining. This is a real life disaster.
It's a 4-day training exercise that the director of FIU's Academy for International Disaster Preparedness, Ruben Almaguer, says has become one of the largest disaster simulations in the state to help out abroad as well as close to home.
They have to assess the damages over these 4 days and find out what are the priorities, what are the needs, how do they provide support to the community. This is just one. There's many of these that occurred throughout the West Coast during Ian.
Almaguer tells us a base camp like this was very similar to what was set up in the Fort Myers area after Hurricane Ian hit. So similarly, there are several agencies, including FEMA, the Coast Guard, Miami Fire Rescue, and nonprofit groups providing aid like Global Empowerment Mission set up to help.
We're getting a chance to work with everyone in a simulated scenario so that we can make relationships, so that we can understand what we need to do better and to understand how best to prepare.
So there's a lot of things that we built into the exercise, and there's things that don't build into the exercise. Generators are going to fail. Someone's going to get hurt. We may have to medically evacuate somebody out of here. We have people who are supposed to show up with food and supplies for the community. They don't show up.
So for the students, this is a part of completing their course. For the professionals, this is another tool in preparing for the real thing. In Miami, I'm Jacqueline Quinn, CBS News, Miami.
President Biden announced his administration is set to forgive billions of dollars in student loan debt. The plan involves income-driven repayment plans. They're designed to reduce student loan monthly payments. The amount a person pays depends on their income. More than 800,000 borrowers and $39 billion in federal student loans are expected to be impacted. More news after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Now to Messi mania here in South Florida. We are 2 days away from Lionel Messi's big announcement with Inter Miami. The team scheduled an unveiling for Sunday night. Team is in desperate need of some star power. They're in last place in the Eastern Conference. And the superstar has been seen out and about in South Florida ahead of his official welcome, including this. He is just like all of us. This is Messi last night in Publix. So what was in his shopping cart? Some Lucky Charms. No word yet if he picked up a Publix sub. Controversial social media personality Andrew Tate and his brother are suing a Florida woman and her family. They say that she falsely accused them of imprisoning her in Romania that led to their arrest on human trafficking charges. The brothers are seeking at least $5 million in the lawsuit filed in Palm Beach County. Romanian officials arrested the Tates in December and indicted them last month. The brothers are accused of forcing 7 victims into pornography and physical violence. They remain under house arrest in Romania. It is no secret that rent in South Florida has skyrocketed in recent years. And now a new report shows that Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Hialeah are among the worst places in the nation to rent. CBS News Miami's Yvonne Taylor has the details.
182 cities were part of the study. Using several indicators, they came up with the fact that South Florida has 3 cities where income is not reasonable with rent.
It's crazy expensive.
Everybody says it isn't expensive. It's expensive. I live in Hialeah and I pay too much for rent.
And how much is that?
I pay $3,000 a month.
Camilo Sequeira lives in one of the 10 worst cities to rent in the U.S., according to Wallet Hub, and one of the 3 in South Florida ranked as the most unaffordable places in America to rent: Hialeah, Miami, and Fort Lauderdale. According to him, before the pandemic, rent was $1,000 less. We asked him if he would move to any of these 10 cities in the nation where rent is affordable.
100%.
But not everybody is willing to leave. No matter how expensive you're staying here.
Look around.
This couple lives in Coconut Grove. How expensive is it for you?
$4,000 a month.
It's a challenge to find homes for tenants.
Sheila Gonzalez has been a realtor for 15 years. She says migration of people from up north since the pandemic changed the dynamics of the industry.
The rental market is high, but inventory is low.
She showed us this house in Palmetto Bay, Miami-Dade County, to illustrate today's reality.
This is a 4-bedroom, 4-bath home with a pool. Right now it's listed for $9,000.
How much was it pre-pandemic?
Pre-pandemic, I think you can rent this for $6,000.
In a period of 3 years, people from up north and other cities made it difficult for locals. So we asked Sheila Gonzalez what are the options for those who cannot come up with a first month and 2 months deposit.
Sometimes I can find leasing offices that they are willing to rent to clients that are not going to be able to come out with 3 months, and they usually have like half a deposit. It depends on their credit as well. So instead of coming up with first, last, and security deposit, they will come up with just first month and 1 month deposit.
So instead of having to come up, let's say, with $8,000, it would be $4,000 and a little bit more.
Yes, depends on the credit.
If you are willing to rent, going to a leasing office is the way to go, according to this realtor. And by the way, make sure that you find a realtor with experience.
In Southwest Miami-Dade, Yvonne Taylor, CBS News, Miami.
It's Friday, and that means it's time for an all-new Taste of the Town. A popular Key West hotspot recently opened its second location in Fort Lauderdale. As CBS News Miami's Lisa Petrillo reports, the restaurant was inspired by a character in Ernest Hemingway's Old Man in the Sea.
It's quirky, cool, fun, and delicious at Santiago's Bodega in Fort Lauderdale, the newest location for the brand that began 20 years ago in Key West when owner Jason Dugan from Kansas City decided to pack up and move to the southernmost city in the U.S.
I scraped up all of my money. The artist, Robert Henry Thompson, rode down with us. We just went down, didn't have anything to lose, you know, and just made it happen.
The name was inspired by a famous Key West loving author.
Santiago was the character in two books that happened to be on my end table. One was The Old Man in the Sea, and I was like, instantly, it's like, Santiago, that works. And then the other one was the book The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, and the boy is seeking to turn lead into gold, which was the way I kind of felt like I was doing in Key West.
The tables and bar and signs were built by Jason's dad using reclaimed wood. His late friend Robert Henry Thompson created every single painting in both restaurants before he passed away a few years ago.
And they all sort of have a loose story of Old Man Santiago. The women are like his mistresses and things like that. This is actually our Queen Elizabeth here.
Jason says this space off of 4th Street in Fort Lauderdale felt like the perfect newest home.
I liked the energy. I really looked all over Florida, and I was looking for something particular, something and I felt it here.
As for the food, it's tapas style, sharing plates for all. We start our tasting with a flaming saganaki with melted halloumi cheese with olive oil, oregano, and pita bread. Then it's yellowfin tuna ceviche with spicy citrus juice, avocado, mango, red onion, and cilantro.
Every single part, all the textures and flavors and juices come together with very fresh tuna. I love this plate, this bowl.
Next, shrimp and chorizo skewers sauteed with white wine, lemon, garlic, butter sauce.
The shrimp is fresh and delicious, seasoned perfectly. The chorizo is just the amount of texture and bite that you want.
That's why I love tapas, is because it's all about sharing. It's about camaraderie with the people you're with.
So much fun.
We end on the petite rack of lamb with crusted pecans, Dijon mustard, and thyme.
By the way, it's wonderful room temperature, still crunchy on the outside with that crust that I've never tasted before, moist on the inside. There's a really gourmet chop. Perfecting the art of tapas here, Jason, but tell everybody how many days you're open.
We're open 7 days a week, lunch and dinner, late night, and we have brunch on the weekends.
Lots going on with a fantastic Taste of the Town here in Fort Lauderdale. I'm Lisa Petrillo. Cheers, CBS News, Miami.
That looked delicious. The power of CBS News and the CBS News Miami stream are always at your fingertips. We're on Pluto TV and it's all free. Or find us on your favorite streaming device with the CBS News app, then click CBS News Miami. That's your CBS News Miami Quickcast. I'm Najahe Sherman. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS News Miami.